Good morning. Today is 15th December 2016 and we are now discuss the editorial today's editorial. Okay, we are now discuss. Okay, 15th December it is. Okay, so it is presented by Subir Kumar Takua. Okay, let's start now. Starts now. Okay, and first articles is demonetization, deflationary stock. Okay, so demonetization जो है वो डिप्रेशनरी स्टॉक हुआ है that the center's decision to withdraw high demonetization, okay, denomination bank notes withdraw the center decision to withdraw denomination bank notes was going to impact economic activities. Okay, in the short term it was never in doubt. Okay, ये बहुत इम्पैक्ट फैला है. ओके, बट द specific contours of the effects were probably a lot less understood at the time of that announcement. The deflationary shock has manifested itself in a declaration in retail inflation. Okay, retail inflation देखा गया है. Okay, as demand for a range of goods and services has been dumped. Okay, so demand for range of goods and services has been dumped. Okay, services has been dumped हो गया है and that the headline consumer price index, okay, best gauge hit a 2-year low of 3.63%. Okay, consumer price index, okay, 3.63%. Okay, for November is therefore no surprise. Okay, okay, especially given the additional factor of a favorable base effect. The reading was 5.41% in November 2015. Okay, the major contributor to the slowdown in price gains was the food and beverage group. Okay, where inflation eased to 2.56% legally on the back of a slump in the price of vegetables. Okay, inflation the 2.5% in the banks or slump in the price of vegetables के लिए, and a highly perishable commodity. Okay, but a closer look at the food groups throws the spotlight on some trends that Reserve Banks of India had flagged in its latest monetary policy, okay, review as areas of concern. Specifically, the prices of sugar and confectionery accelerated by 22.4%. Okay, sugar जो accelerate हो गया 22.4%, while meat and fish and egg also reflected persistently elevated levels. Okay, the service sectors including transport, communication and education also manifested stickiness. Okay, stickiness. Okay, underscoring the rationale for the RBI cautions approach is keeping benchmarks interest rates unchanged. Okay, सो यहाँ पर क्या है, सेंटर डिसीजन लिया है कि कैसे जो डिमोनेटाइजेशन हाई डिमोनेटाइजेशन ऑफ बैंकर्स जो बैंक नोट्स जो है वो इम्पैक्ट फैल रहा है इकोनॉमिक इम्पैक्ट में. ओके, सो इसके लॉट ऑफ लॉस हो रहा है. ओके, तो शॉक फैल रहा है, तो रिटेल इन्फ्लेशन हो गया है. ओके, तो हेडलाइन कंज्यूमर जो प्राइस इंडेक्स है वो 2 ईयर में सबसे ज़्यादा लो है, 3.63% इन नवंबर. ओके, देयर नो सरप्राइज स्पेशली अगेन द एडिशनल फैक्टर, कोई भी सरप्राइज फैक्टर नहीं, सरप्राइज कोई थिंग्स नहीं है. तो द रीडिंग वाज 5.4% ऑफ द नवंबर 2015. ओके, एक क्या था रीडिंग 5.41%. ओके, नवंबर 2015 में. द मेजर कंट्रीब्यूट टू द स्लो डाउन प्राइस गेन्स वाज फूड एंड बेवरेज ग्रुप्स. ओके, where inflation क्या है ना, जो 2.56% largely on a back on a sharp in the price of vegetables के लिए 2.56% and high perishable commodity के लिए. Okay, and close the food groups जो है the रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया फ्लैग्ड इन लेटेस्ट मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी में किया गया कंसर्न स्पेसिफिकली ओके कुछ कुछ एरिया में उन्होंने सॉल्व किया है. एंड द प्राइस ऑफ शुगर confectionery accelerated to 2.4%, while meat and fresh egg also reflected perishable elevated levels. Okay. The service sectors including transport and communication and education also manifested stickiness. Okay. And understanding the rationale for the RBI cautious approach in keeping benchmark interest rates unchanged. Okay. Okay. Next stage. Clearly, its next topic. Okay. Clearly signals from the inflation data pose a conundrum before policymakers. Okay. While demand impulses taking a wide-ranging knock from the shortage of cash, because shortage of cash and in the hands, okay, of consumers. Okay. Proponents of policy accommodations would argue that the time is ripe for the RBI to cut borrowing cost and to help import some credit-fueled economic momentum. Okay. But as the RBI's Monetary Policy Committee itself articulated on December 7. Okay, RBI Monetary Policy Committee itself articulated on December 7. Okay, while discretionary spelling on goods and services in the CPI Consumer Price Index, excluding food and fuel. Okay. Excluding food and fuel could have been affected by the restricted access of cash. Okay. Okay, the price of those items are those items may whether the transitory effects, since they are normally revised according to present cycle. More importantly, the MPC okay cautioned that the food inflation pressures could emerge as a consequence of disruption and in agricultural activity as a result of the current currency withdrawal. Okay. The specter of upward price pressure from the key components including food and fuel OPEC outputs cuts are already pushing up crude oil. Okay. Combined with the fading away of a favorable base effect could leave the RBI with little wiggle room to support growth. Okay, while the central bank March 2017 target for retail inflation of 5% clearly in their sights. Okay, the monetary authorities may be persuaded to keep the powders dry. Okay. सो जो आर्टिकल है डिमोनेटाइजेशन और डिफ्लेशनरी शॉक हो गया है, उस आर्टिकल में हम देखा गया डिफरेंट प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, इन्फ्लेशन हो रहा है. तो यहाँ पर भी कुछ यही देखा है कि इन्फ्लेशन जो डेटा है वो देखा कि कैसे पॉलिसी मेकर्स ने उसको कंडेम कर रहा है. तो द कंज्यूमर प्रोपोनेंट्स के जो आरबीआई जो कार्ड बोरिंग कर रहा है कंज्यूमर का जो प्रोपोनेंट्स है कंज्यूमर्स शॉर्टेज जो हो रहा है, कंज्यूमर का जो मनी शॉर्टेज हो रहा है. ओके, सब क्रेडिट कहाँ पर मिल रहा है? फ्यूल में मिल रहा है. ठीक है. मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी कमेटी आर्टिकुलेटेड इन December 7 जो है व्हाइल डिस्क्रिमिनेटरी स्पेंडिंग ऑन गुड्स एंड सर्विस के ऊपर स्पेंडिंग किया है. सीपीआई कंज्यूमर प्राइस इंडेक्स फूड एंड फ्यूल के ऊपर अफेक्ट कर रहा है. एक्सेस टू कैश के ऊपर अफेक्ट फैल रहा है. तो एमपीसी फूड इन्फ्लेशन हो रहा है, प्रेशर गुड इमेज कॉन्सिक्वेंस फैल रहा है एग्रीकल्चर एक्टिविटी के लिए ऊपर. एंड करेंसी विड्रॉल अब तो करेंसी विड्रॉल करने के करेंसी विड्रॉल नहीं हो रहा है. तो ओके, द स्पेक्टर ऑफ अपर प्राइस प्रेशर हो रहा है एंड इंक्लूडिंग फूड एंड फ्यूल. ओपेक आउटपुट कार्ड्स ऑलरेडी पुशिंग अप कार्ड वेल. ओके, combined with the fading away of a favorable base effect फैल रहा है, could leave the RBI a little wiggle room of the support growth. With the central bank's March 2017 target किया रिटेल इन्फ्लेशन 5% clearly in their sights. and the monetary authorities may be persuaded to keep the powder dry. नेक्स्ट आर्टिकल क्या है? ओके, नेक्स्ट आर्टिकल है इंडियाज विनिंग स्ट्रेक. India emphatic innings and 36 run victory over England. Mumbai Wankhede Stadium has effectively broken innings jinx among the Test cricket rivals, discarding the hype around games against Australia or the history that permits just involving Pakistan. Okay, England had been a burger twice. India had lost Test series in England 2011 and 2014. It also suffered the ignoring of losing at home in 2012. Okay, and redemption finally come out in Mumbai in Virat Kohli's main secured an unaccessible 3-0 lead with just the fifth and final Test remaining to be played in Chennai starting Friday. The cobwebs of the past have been said, and a new order in place. Okay, in its last 17th Test, India remained undefeated. The highlight being 13 wins. This equal the purple patch from 1985 to 1987 that featured 4 victories, 12 draws and a tie across 17 games. India can do one better if it wins or at least draw at Chennai. Okay, the current winning streak includes 5 consecutive Test series triumphs. Sri Lanka, South Africa, West Indies, New Zealand and England have been vanquished from shedding the pangs of transitions to charting its own path. The Frisian squad has shown that it respects the aura of taste and fairly motivate to win. It is trade Kohli shares with coach Anil Kumble. Okay, the squads of twin arms Kohli and Arav have worked in pulsating tandem as a batsman with a concurrent average of 50 plus across all 3 formats. Kohli is poised to join a league of legends. He has led from the front. England's wilted under the weight of his bat that yielded 640 runs. Okay, at an average of 188. He even played peacemaker when Austin and James Anderson had a spat in Mumbai. Austin, meanwhile, has powered India's remarkable growth with both ball and bat. He has bagged 27 wickets in this series, and the final contest of his home ground in Chennai may only enthusiasm him more. The team's glory is not just restricted to Kohli and Austin. The rest have all put their hands up at various times. Be it Jayant Jadhav, okay, an able understandee to Austin the off spinner and an effective batsman. Parthib Patel called in as a replacement wicketkeepers. Seamer Mohammad Sami or a reliable Murali Vijay operating with the assurance. The squad's inherent strength has not warned personnel and lost briefly due to injuries Ajinkya Rahane and Rohit Sharma, or when from deserts Shikhar Dhawan. India will have a long road to traverse, and observes overseas win in Australia and England need to be secured. But for New Kohli and his men are enjoying this stupendous home run. ओके एक क्रिकेट के लिए क्रिकेट की जो इंडिया का जो जीत है वो इसके ऊपर आर्टिकल है था. ओके, नेक्स्ट इज राइट्स फॉर द राइटफुल ओनर्स. राइट्स फॉर द राइटफुल ओनर्स. ओके, ऑन द 10th anniversary of the historic passage of the Forest Rights Act, tribal resistance to defend their rights is growing even as government after government tries to dilute its provisions. Okay, फॉरेन राइट्स जो एक्ट है तो ट्राइबल रेजिलेंस टू डिफेंड देयर राइट्स इज ग्रोइंग इवन एज गवर्नमेंट आफ्टर गवर्नमेंट ट्राइज टू dilute its provisions. Okay, government tries to dilute this provision. Okay, on this day 10 years ago, the historic scheduled tribes and other traditional forest dwellers, okay, recognition of forest rights act was passed in the Lok Sabha. Okay, जो पास हुआ था लोकसभा में. ओके, 10 years ago. ओके, हिस्ट्री इंडियन शेड्यूल्ड ट्राइब एंड अदर ट्रेडिशनल फॉरेस्ट ड्वेलर्स के लिए. Its conception and its passage was the result of the decades of struggle and sacrifice of millions of tribals across India. Okay, sacrifice किया था millions of tribals in India of their organization of numerous activities and intellectuals working on tribal issues, and because of the commitment and efforts of the left parties. Attempts at dilution and a century ago, colonial chicanery has turned tribal owners of the forest and its resource into encroachers. Okay, a decade ago, the Indian inheritors of this legacy of fraud were working against the bill till literally the last moment. Okay, so attempts at dilution. A century ago, colonial chicanery has turned tribal owners of the forest and resource encroachers के लिए colonial chicanery has turned हुआ था. Okay, the Indian inheritors of the legacy की final were working against क्या करता working against the bill. Okay, bill till literally the last moment. Okay, the real encroachments on farm and planters of the forest, the mining companies, the private power sector companies, those involved in migration projects, and so the short and paper industries. The forest resort tourist industry had high stakes preventing the passage of the bill. They were in the company fundamentals, wildlife and environmental groups with their close links with the powerful forest bureaucracy. They made a motley through influential crowd and had the eat of very important people in the United Passage Progressive Alliance. Okay, government hierarchy. सो यहाँ पर क्या आता है, एक कॉलोनियल सेंचुरी एगो क्या होता है ना, और बिल के अगेंस्ट कुछ लोग ने उनका जो समर्थन दिया था, तो उन्होंने लेकिन ये जो बिल इसको एनकरेजमेंट फॉर फॉरेस्ट के लिए एंड माइनिंग कंपनीज जो प्राइवेट पावर सेक्टर्स जो है इसके अंदर उसको लेकर आया था. एंड एंड फॉरेस्ट का जो पीपल्स है वो इस बिल का अंतर्भुक्त हो गया था, क्योंकि फंडामेंटल हम जानते हैं कि वाइल्ड लाइफ जो है वो सब वहाँ पर ट्राइबल लोग जो ट्राइबल पीपल जो रहते हैं वहाँ पर। So the made of the monitor the motley through influential crowd and had the eat of very important people in the unit, because वहाँ पर जो लोग उसका उसका जो are वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पीपल इन द यूनाइटेड प्रोग्रेस अलायंस के अंदर वो भी आ गया था गवर्नमेंट हायरार्की के अंदर। ओके, नेक्स्ट क्या है, द succeed in diluting some important recommendation of the parliamentary select committee on community forest rights, access to minor forest produce, and so on. The Danes the clause that the non-tribal traditional forest dwellers would have to show evidence of their occupations of the land for 25 years virtually negated the inclusion, whose largely poorest section, many of them Dalits in the law. So the left had proposed that Fox these stations. The Supreme Court proposed cut-off year of 1980 would be appropriate. While for tribal communities the cut-off year should be 2005, but at the last moment the government surreptitiously brought in the three generation of 75-year clause. The bill with this obnoxious clause was circulated and listed for immediate discussion and passage. As soon as we say it, the chairman of the select committee, Kishore Chandra Rao, and I rushed to the chamber in Pranab Mukherjee. The External Affairs Minister, who was the point person for the bill on behalf of the government in the negotiation, while the left, there was a mini drama and heated discussion, which finally ended with the arrival of the Tribal Affairs Minister, Pierre Kandia, who had been summoned by his senior. If the discussion, he assured us that he would move around amendments to the bill. At that time, there was no choice but to accept the assurance at face value. It had taken more than a year of struggle to finally get the bill. Okay, bill included in the business agenda of parliament and listed the powerful lobbies, okay, against the bill would be used. Our opposition once again self the Bharatiya Janata Party was playing a duplicitous role. Its Adivasi MP supported the bill, while others were dead against it. They ran a campaign among MPs from the northeast that if passed, the law would legalize encroachment by illegal Bangladeshis. Okay, this was utterly misleading, but anything was fair in the war against tribal rights. So यहाँ पर ट्राइबल राइट्स के लिए बात किया है। तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने 1980 में अप्रूव किया है कि ट्राइबल कमेटी को होना चाहिए। ओके, लास्ट में गवर्नमेंट ने क्या किया ना, बढ़ के 3 जनरेशन 75 ईयर्स को क्लॉज किया द बिल किया, उस बिल को डिस्कशन किया एंड पैसेज में एंड लिया गया है। एंड सिलेक्ट कमेटी चंद्रा राव किशोर चंद्र राव देव and the Pranab Mukherjee, the External Affairs Minister, who was the point person of the bill. Okay, एंड नेक्स्ट क्या है, उसके बाद है क्या ना, भारतीय जनता पार्टी जो है वो प्लेइंग का एक डुप्लीसियस रोल प्लेइंग कर रहा है कि द आदिवासी जो एमपी सपोर्टेड द बिल, आदिवासी एमपी जो सपोर्ट कर रहा है बिल को, ओके, बिकॉज द इफ इट इज द बिल इज from the northeast, so for if it is there in the past, then why it is not passed in the AP, मतलब okay, okay, so it is mainly illegal बांग्लादेशीज के लिए इंक्रोचमेंट हुआ था. दिस वाज utterly misleading है, but anything was fair and in the war against tribal rights, so anything सब कुछ हम ट्राइबल के अगेंस्ट कर रहे हैं, ट्राइबल राइट्स के अगेंस्ट कर रहे हैं, वॉर कर रहे हैं, ओके. एंड नेक्स्ट है, नेक्स्ट the missing amendment, the bill become law, but without the amendments promised after much discussion and pressure. Some of them were included in the rules. This also was a big struggle, and there was a strong group of activities who, along with the left representatives, could work fairly good set of rules. It included a group giving prime importance to the role of the Gram Sabhas. In spite of its inadequacies, there can be little doubt that the Forest Rights Act, okay, the act stands as a powerful instrument to protect the rights of tribal communities. It is hindrance to corporate interest to their free loot and plunder of India's mineral resource and its forest, its water. But the Narendra Modi government is systematically implementing its plan to weaken and Dalit Act survival ways. तो इस बिल को प्राइम इम्पोर्टेंस दिया हुआ है ग्राम सभा में, जहाँ पर फॉरेस्ट राइट्स एक्ट भी वो पावरफुल इंस्ट्रूमेंट हो गया है ट्राइबल कम्युनिटीज़ के लिए. और जो इंडिया का जो मिनरल रिसोर्स, जो फॉरेस्ट और वाटर के ऊपर नरेंद्र मोदी ने गवर्नमेंट ने सिस्टम के लिए इम्प्लीमेंट कर रहा है. एंड दलित जो है एंड वीकर सेक्शन है उसको बहुत अच्छे से उसको जो प्रॉब्लम है उसको देख रहा है, ओके, और सॉल्व करने की कोशिश कर रहा है. New attempts at devolution is fast. It was brought a series of legislation that undermine the rights and protection given to tribals in the FRA, First Rights Act, okay, including the conditions of free informed consent from Gram Sabhas for any government plans to remove tribals from the forest for the resettlement and rehabilitation package. The laws were pushed through by the Modi government without any consultation with tribal communities. They include the amendments to the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Act, the Compensatory Afforestation Fund Act, and a host of amendments to the rules to the FRA, Forest Rights Act, which undermine the Forest Rights Act. The requirement of public hearing of Gram Sabha consent has been done away with for mid-sized coal mines. BJP state government and partners in the National Democratic Alliance, such as Telugu Desam Party government in Andhra Pradesh, have introduced government orders to subvert of the FRA. तो यहाँ पर क्या हुआ कि फ्री इन्फॉर्म कंसेंट में जो ग्राम सभा में जो गवर्नमेंट का जो प्लान है जो रिमूव ट्राइबल को रिमूव कर रहा है फ्रॉम फॉरेस्ट से, सो एंड रीसेटलमेंट देंगे और रिहेबिलिटेशन पैकेज देंगे. तो मोदी गवर्नमेंट ने ये पुश कर रहा है. एंड मोदी गवर्नमेंट क्या कर रहा है, उसको कंसल्टेशन विद ट्राइबल कम्युनिटीज को कंसल्ट कर रहा है. दे इंक्लूड द अमेंडमेंट्स ऑफ माइन, बट दे इंक्लूड कर रहा है क्या कहाँ कर रहा है कि माइंस एंड मिनरल्स पे उन्होंने इंक्लूड कर रहा है बिकॉज द डेवलपमेंट एंड रेगुलेशन के एक्ट में अंदर, ओके. लेकिन ट्राइबल को नहीं देख रहा है, ओके. ट्राइबल को रिसेटलमेंट और रिहेबिलिटेशन के अंदर लेकर आया है, ओके. यहाँ पर the public hearing, Gram Sabha consent have been done away with the mid-sized coal mines. Okay, BJP state government and partners in the National Democratic Alliance signed the Telugu Desam Party. तेलुगु देशम पार्टी के साथ उन्होंने अलायंस किया है. नेशनल डेमोक्रेटिक अलायंस साथ तेलुगु देशम पार्टी के साथ इंट्रोड्यूस गवर्नमेंट ऑर्डर्स टू सबवर्ट ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ तेलुगु में इसके साथ उन्होंने काम कर रहे हैं. ओके. In Telangana, in total violation of the FRA, the government has illegal traditional methods and of forest land cultivation. The Jharkhand government has brought amendment to the Chotanagpur, also the Santhal Paragana Tenancy Act, with eliminate rights of Gram Sabha and permits tribal land. Okay, and next is land to be taken over by corporates, real estate players, private education and medical institutions in the name of the development without tribal consent. In Maharashtra, the government has issued a notification of village rules. Okay, with which gives all rights of forest management and government promoted communities as opposed to the Gram Sabha. This is the law-based offensive. Second, there is the policy-based war. Modi government has declared its commitment to ensuring easy of doing business, which translates into clearing all private sector sponsored projects in tribal inhabited forest areas. The National Board for Wildlife, with the Prime Minister as campaign, was reconstituted, slashing the number of independent experts from 15 member to 3, packing in it with subservient or vehicles. In the first 3 months of the assuming OS, the Modi government cleared 33 out of 41 projects, diverting over 7,000 hectares of forest land. Of this, the major share was for Gujarat companies. Okay, in 2 years of the cleanliness of project have included diversion or more appropriately land grab to the extent of the 1.3 lakh hectares of forest land in many areas. This will lead to massive displacement of tribal communities. It is the multi-purpose Polavaram project in Andhra Pradesh alone. Now gives a national status by the central government. 2 lakh hectares of forest land will be submerged, affecting around 85,000 families are affected. More than half tribal, including 100 inhabitants of particularly vulnerable tribal communities. In almost all these projects, the affected tribal families have not yet received their parties receive their pattas land ownership documents, and one of the conditions set by the FRA, okay, the wildlife disregard the blatant violation of the legal protection gives to tribals has become the cornerstone of the policy. Next क्या है, there is the deliberate freeze of the actual implementation of the FRA. Okay, neither individual pattas nor pattas for community forest resources are being given. During the UPA-2 government, the implementation of the act was virtually hijacked by the Minister of environment and forest, and rejection of claims increased. However, how now the situation has worsened, and the rate of rejection has gone up during the Modi regime. According to one analysis, between May 2015 and April 2016, 8 out of the even 10 claims were rejected. This is the Gujarat model. Okay, it is a Gujarat model in operation. The states has one of the worst records and implementation of the Forest Right Act. Although 98% of the approximately 1.9 lakh total tribal claims had been approved by the Gram Sabhas, the bureaucrats in the sub-divisional committee and above brought the acceptance down to just 38%. This is the sharp contrast to a left-led state in such as Tripura, where 98% of the tribal claims have been recorded in titles given. So हम इन्वायरमेंटल जो फॉरेस्ट एक्ट है उसके अंदर हम ट्राइबल को जो ट्राइबल कैसे वो ब्लैंक्स कर रहा है तो यही दिखाया गया है इस आर्टिकल के अंदर। तो यहाँ पर गुजरात मॉडल के लेके आया था गवर्नमेंट ने, गुजरात मॉडल के ऑपरेशन किया। ओके, सो उस रिकॉर्ड दे फिर यहाँ पर ऑल द 1.9 लाख क्लेम आया है। तो डिफरेंट प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है एंड कहाँ पर सबसे ज़्यादा आ रहा है ना, त्रिपुरा में 98%। ओके, नेक्स्ट क्या है, नेक्स्ट क्या है, नेक्स्ट इसका जो मेन पॉइंट है मिक्स्ड सिग्नल्स फ्रॉम द जुडिशियरी द इंडस्ट्री द जुडिशियरी मिक्स्ड सिग्नल फ्रॉम द जुडिशियरी हैज आल्सो had a role to play. The same institution which gave tribals hope through Samatha judgment, the historic Niamgiri judgment. He has also clubbed together a number of hostile petitions to the FRA and is given them a sympathetic hearing. In January last year, the court is an ominous intervention in a right petition filed by Wildlife Trust of India and other issued notice to all state governments to file and affidavit giving data regarding the number of claims rejected within the territory or the state and the extent of land over which claims were made and rejected, and the consequent action taken up by the state after the rejection of the claims. After this has highly and rightly been taken by tribal communities. Okay. And their organization as a prelude to mass eviction, Maharashtra issued a notification dated April 23, 2015, directing the police to take action against identified encroachers, namely those whose claims have been rejected. Till 1985, the Department of Tribal Affairs was under the Home Ministry. Tribal rights and struggles for justice were viewed as a law and order issue, always a problem. Under the present dispensation, this retrograde approach seems to have been recited on the 10th anniversary on the historic passage of the Forest Right Act. Tribal resistance is growing all over the country and to define their rights under FRA and अदर रिलेटेड इशू। क्या यहाँ पर क्या बताया गया है ना, जो ट्राइबल का जो फॉरेस्ट के अंदर जो राइट्स है तो वो डिफेंड हो रहा है एंड ट्राइबल रेसिलेंस इज ग्रोइंग ऑल ओवर द उसका ऑल ओवर द कंट्री के वो बढ़ रहा है। ओके, तो गवर्नमेंट ने उसको नहीं सही तरीके से देख रहा है। तो यही है जो आज का आर्टिकल्स है। नेक्स्ट आर्टिकल है पिकिंग अप द पीसेस, picking up the pieces. Many trees have been uprooted in Chennai after cyclone Bharada hit the city. I refer to the line to the in the editorial through a storm safely. December 14 उन्होंने क्या क्या planting trees with strong roots system and framing the canopy ahead to cyclone season could reduce uprooting in the same villages where there are large tree in front of houses. There are people who dress the branches. The trunk is kept intact after branches, okay, are trimmed. They almost resemble a skeletal structure. This prevents the tree from being uprooted. Perhaps civic authorities and local bodies should think of such steps to minimize their damage. In cities, we must also remember what is environmental activist based on Chennai has said, I wish those in the administration come up with the tree health management system. Tree need to be considered as environmental infrastructure and looked after. Okay, it is complete. Okay, remind it that mainly the trees which is important for also environment. Okay, countdown to a washout. Okay, with the winter seasons of Parliament almost over, it is certain that this season will be washed out. Both BJP and opposition equally responsible for the stalemate. The flip-flop by the opposition on the demonetization issue, with demand for the apology from the Prime Minister, and the ruling party practice with the Prime Minister initially attending Parliament and then choosing to blame the opposition for not allowing him to speak. Okay, speak must be highlighted. The BJP will lose nothing by allowing a debate following by voting as it has a clear majority in the Lok Sabha. Demonetization narrative the article. Okay, why cashless may be new normal. Okay, brings on issue that is becoming evidence to the united to the protected rollout of demonetization with shifting goalpost. There is no alternative than going plastics is what is being thrown down this dynamically as a solution to this fate accomplish of demonetization. Finally, it is clear that demonetization is definitely not about black money. Okay, shown of its moral veneer, it is all about state finance nexus to the detriment of vast sections of people and their livelihoods. Okay. Okay, in minutes. Okay, 1971 and after. Okay, 1971 and after. It's after. In 1971 was described decisive because it proved once and for all that a country based on religious would not survive, and it is imposed homogeneity on its culturally diverse people. Okay, the decisiveness of 1971 December 14. Okay, it also in stone the idea that there must be uninterrupted connectivity between the land mass of the country. While India's military action was decisive, what was not decisive was Indian handling of the aftermath, because 1971 was the perfect opportunity to end the Kashmir issue and officially demarcates the boundary between both nations. What we got instead was the export that of terrorism of Kashmir. The Siachen conflict, the Kargil war, and ceasefire violations, among other issues that could have been avoided and had Prime Minister India Indira Gandhi have been avoided had Prime Minister Indira Gandhi taken full advantage of her political mandate. From archives, from the archives, a snippet illicit earnings seized from the archives December 19, okay, on how reaches to 12.50 lakh according from black money transaction was seized by the enforcement directorate proves that black money dealings which we are trying now to wipe out were prevalent even 50 years ago when money circulation was comparatively less. This strengthens the fact that black money holding handling handling is a perpetual menace which cannot be eradicated over over high. Okay, thank you for seeing it, and I think it will be help to your study purpose, and please study it very strongly. Okay, then it will be help to memorize it. Okay, so thank you. Study all times. Okay.